You're not tired. You're mismanaging your energy. And if you crash afternoons, you rely on caffeine just to function or wake up. You might wake up exhausted. And this is exactly why. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what is draining your energy and how to fix it. So, welcome. So glad you are here. So, most people think they need more time or more sleep, but that's not the real issue. There's something else quietly draining your energy every single day. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Stick with me for the next couple of minutes. I'll show you the biggest energy mistakes almost everyone is making without realizing it. So, real quick, this is if this is helpful to you, please subscribe and comment so you don't miss the next couple of trainings, and really appreciate that. So I share strategies like this to help you perform at a higher level consistently in your business and your life. And I'd love to have you here with me in person or as you see the replay. One of the first things that we want to do is actually drink a lot of water. I have known for years, but it was recently reinforced. Drinking like 8 to 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning actually reduces your chance of cancer. It hydrates every cell in your body, which gives it the energy to fight any toxins in your body. We're going to first start out with priming. And to do that, we're talking about changing your emotional state. So I'm going to ask you to raise your arms, take an inhale, and then when you bring them down, exhale. This helps increase the blood flow to your entire body. It carries, and your blood carries oxygen to every cell in your body. We're going to do it 10 times. And the exercise actually is called priming. And the way it does work is you do it 10 times, take a rest for like 30 seconds, do it another 10 times, basically do 3 sets of 10 to keep that blood flowing and to change your emotional state. So 1, 2, 3. So exhale and raise your arms and inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. That is a great way to get your blood going. It's easy. And then the way this exercise actually works is you do those 3 sets of 10, and then you take a moment to just center yourself and do 5 gratitude statements. So, quick heads up. If you've been feeling tired, burned out, or stuck in low energy, this is going to show you exactly why and how to fix it. Let me ask you this. Do you ever start your day? Do you ever start your day feeling tired, burnt out, and already behind? I experienced that. Check your phone first. You go straight there, go into your messages. You start reacting instead of leading. And before you know it, your energy is already scattered. You're busy, but not always moving forward. That seems to be the best measurement, or at least that's what your brain says. And by the afternoon, you feel it. That dip, the drop in focus, that need to push yourself just to stay on track. Well, what we're going to do is talk about what most people miss when they're tired every day, that it's not because of needing more sleep. It's because your energy is being drained in ways you don't even realize. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it, but you can fix it because this isn't a motivation problem, it's an alignment problem. And once you feel like you're in alignment, everything changes. Your results don't come from effort alone, they come from your state, how you think, how you feel, how you show up. Momentum comes from three things: clarity, energy, and direction. Mind, body, and mind, body, and mission. So ask what some of the questions that you want to ask every day to start your day is what actually matters today. So this is a 15-minute alignment routine or system that can help you have a great day. So mind is clarity. Before your phone, ask what actually matters today, or what would make a win for you today? What would make a win for you today? So write those down. If you're here, write them down, put them in the chat. If you're watching the replay, write them in a comment or write them on your notepad. What, because this is really information data for yourself. So what actually matters today and what would make today a win? What actually matters today? What actually matters today? For me, it was being ready for today, to talk to you, um, being ready for a program I'm doing on YouTube. And what would make it a win for you today? What would make today a win? Those are the things that can help start your day in the best possible way. Next is body or energy. As I said, hydrate, get the blood moving, then support your energy intentionally. I personally use Peak Performance Choose. This is my tool of choice. Actually, it's called Energy Choose. There's an energy chew for the day, and there's a sleep chew for at night. And this impacts your circadian rhythm. And I find there is some caffeine in here, not a lot. I'm not a coffee drinker. So this has made a difference when I feel that sluggishness or when I feel like I want to do something, and my message in my brain says, oh, do it later or don't do it now. This helps keep me in the energy phase, helps me keep my energy stable and my focus clear and just helps me throughout the day. I find you only take one of these a day, but I really see that it makes a difference. And in the notes below, if you're watching the replay, you will see the link and also in the chat for those that are here today. So these help make my energy, as I said, stable. My focus is clear throughout the day. It's not as a crutch, but as a support for consistency. Because when your energy drops, your decisions drop with it. Your decision making you get more doubtful or just not as sharp, or your decisions aren't really helping you level up. Your decisions are going with the lowest common denominator in your standards. And we want to keep the standards high so you keep progressing at that higher standard. And the last thing is mission, your direction. Now, simplify these three things: one thing that moves you forward, one thing that creates growth, and one thing that actually supports your bigger vision. And that is where momentum starts. I want to again reinforce mission. When you constantly every day, and I use this. This is called the promptings journal. I've talked about this several times. I use it every day, and I just love this. It really helps me stay on my mission and my goals. I can write down what my intention was for today. What are the actions I will take today? This has been a, a game changer for me, and it supports everything that I want to create in the future. And I know that that's where you're going. If you are here watching this, or here today, you are focused on making progress in your life, making contribution, experiencing fulfillment. So keep focused on your mission and use the tools like the promptings journal to actually create that mission and stay on target. And this is where most people get stuck, because this is simple, but not automatic. So here's the question: what's actually pulling you out of alignment every day? Please write this down. What is actually pulling you out of alignment every day? And put it in the chat if you're here today, or put it in a comment at below the replay. Write down what is really pulling you out of alignment every day. And generally, we see this as a pattern. I don't know, maybe it's reading the news, maybe it's reading something else that's taking your attention. But think about what are some things that take you out of alignment. Because once you identify this issue or that item, everything starts to shift because you can make better choices. So, this is why having support matters, not because you don't know what to do, but because it helps you stay consistent. Coaching, working with a coach, creates awareness, accountability, and follow through. Those are the consistent uh, um, reasons I hear from my clients why they are committed to working with a coach. And even something as simple as tracking your mind, your body, and mission can completely change how you operate day to day. So if there's any place you feel that you are falling behind, having that kind of support, working with someone to really make a difference can actually change your success track. So think about tomorrow. Think about tomorrow morning. Where do you usually lose momentum? What's one shift? Write this down. What is one shift you can make? What is one shift you can make today? Because this isn't about doing more. It's actually about starting differently. And when you can start things differently and change a pattern, then again, you can change your life. When you take ownership of your morning, you take ownership of your day. When you take ownership of your day, you can expand that your day, your week, your month. It's your life. And that's where everything starts to change when you take charge of your morning. So, wanted to share with you that our next program is on May 5th, Tuesday, May 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And it is boundaries that build trust and maintain harmony. So some things before we close, I wanted to ask you some questions to think about, to really consider, so that you can make this a deeper part of your experience here today, being here or watching the replay. What part of your morning do you feel is currently working against you instead of for you? Now, we mentioned this earlier today. I want to make sure that you've identified this pattern. I want this to be of a high value to you so that you actually can make a change. So, what do you feel is currently working against you instead of for you? Um, I can tell you years ago, I used to get up and do a little actions, and then I'd get back into bed and I would read, I would listen to some music, and boy, was that an energy killer that I really didn't think of it. I thought I was meditating. I thought I was being quiet and grounded. So I realized that was really working against what I really wanted in my life. So, what is something that you feel is currently working against you instead of for you? Okay, write that down, and then you will be able to make the opposite choice. Because as Tony Robbins says, in the moments of your decision, your destiny is shaped. In the moments of your decision, your destiny is shaped. Choose well. So when you are making choices which create a trend, make different choices. Make it for to be in alignment with who you are and what your mission is. So, the next question I wanted to ask you was, where do you notice your biggest energy drop is during the day? And what's usually happening right before that? Notice if there's a trigger that drains you, it's some activity. Maybe it's something you could delegate. Uh, Maybe it's something that is just an an action that is not in alignment with your thinking or your strengths, it's time to make that change. So, what is your biggest energy drop during the day? And what's usually happening right before that? Would love to hear from you. Please put those in the comments. You're sharing this really helps everyone who's listening to this and reading the comments. We often have very similar obstacles, and our job as an entrepreneur, really as a founder, as a leader, is to get over obstacles and be an inspiration for our teams and who we are working with. It really is amazing. It's not about giving into the obstacle. It's about figuring out how to make it work best for you and your organization. It's not about, for sure, ignoring it. It's really about being proactive. And again, keeping an eye on your mission, keeping a focus on that mission. So, another question I wanted to ask you was, if you could improve just one area, your clarity, your energy, or your focus, which one would make the biggest difference right now? If you could improve just one area, your clarity, your energy, or your focus, which one area would make the biggest difference right now? We've discussed all three of these today. And these are the areas that will have an impact on driving you and your business to success. So, if you could improve just one area, your clarity, your energy, or your focus, which one would make the biggest difference right now? And I'd like to remind you, if you've heard this before or you haven't, that it only takes what we say is a 2 millimeter shift. And what that means is if you make a shift in your clarity, just a small change, if you make a shift in your energy, like I did, I took these chews, these energy chews. That was a 2 millimeter shift for me because I don't drink coffee. I don't get caffeine. This actually gives me just a little, or I should say just enough caffeine, but that was a 2 millimeter shift for me. So, what is your 2 millimeter shift for clarity, energy, or your focus? Which one would make the biggest difference right now for you? So, if this program today resonated with you, Try some of these tools that we talked about today. Try it tomorrow. And I'm not a big fan of the word try because try means you're not committed. Say, I'm going to do X tomorrow. That's different from what you've been doing. Keep it simple, but do it tomorrow. Pick one thing and do it. Do it today, do it tomorrow, and you'll see a difference that you'll make. And you'll see in the next session that we're going to have is actually setting boundaries that build trust and maintain harmony. So this will help you flow into the next week's session on Tuesday, May 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time or 11 a.m. Mountain Time. I have so enjoyed having you here, being here with me, whether it's in person or in the replay, and hope you have an outstanding day. Be triumphant. Send me a message. Let me know. Subscribe. Let me know what you're feeling from how today impacted how you feel about yourself, your mission, your success, your energy, your focus. Let's work together and make a difference. Shift, make that 2 millimeter shift. Have an outstanding day. Bye for now. See you soon.